Welcome back, everybody, to the Baltimore Orioles franchise here on MLB The Show 21. We are in the month of September, the home stretch here of Season 4, and our Orioles are pushing for a playoff spot for the second straight season. And if all goes well, we will get in, but we are in a tough fight for seeding, and more importantly, a tough fight for this division with 6 or 7 teams in the American League really close to each other. So we still need to play really good baseball to ensure we get into the postseason, but we also have to pass Toronto, who's currently ahead of us. I think our team is in a good spot going into this month. We've made, obviously, a few roster moves. We needed 28 players on the active roster, so we've called up a few guys. Most notably, one of our top prospects in third baseman Shane Kovaleski, who had 2 base hits in his debut in a big loss against the New York Yankees in the last episode. Also in the last episode, German Marquez hit a home run, so if you missed that, you might want to check it out. But we're going to simulate these first 3 series. 4 at home against Tampa Bay, 3 at home against Cleveland, 3 on the road against Tampa Bay. All 3 of those teams are not particularly good, so we should be able to do fairly well, and we did. We went 7-3 in that span. Split the 2 against the Rays, won 2 of 3 against Cleveland, and then swept Tampa Bay on the road. So that brings us to 2 big series also on the road between Minnesota, who is damn near the same record as us, and Boston. I simmed the first game of the Twin Series. We got pummeled. So now we're going to go into Game 2. I was most intrigued by this pitching matchup. I always look for opportunities to use German Marquez because he has been the best pitcher in the American League this season. So the more we get to use him, the merrier. The Twin starter, Devin Smeltzer, who we'll talk about in a moment, also has an ERA below 3. So it's a very high-level matchup between these 2 pitchers. The Orioles are currently the top wild card team in the American League with the Blue Jays ahead of them. The Twins currently lead the AL Central. So as you can tell there, it is a very tough battle here for our Orioles to make sure we get at least a wild card spot and hopefully pass Toronto in the division. So here's the lefty Devin Smeltzer, who's been really good this year, 2.67 ERA, 1.09 whip. He's been really, really good, and it's going to be tough for this Baltimore lineup, but that's a good start. The rookie Xavier Bowman hits that one down the line and fair. Bowman trying to get to second. He slides safely. Of course, the Orioles called up Xavier Bowman and Xavier Edwards together during the trade deadline. Bowman has done quite well. I can't really say the same for Edwards, but at least he'll get another shot in the minors. That one deflects off of Smeltzer's leg. Bowman is tagged out trying to go home. Do not blame me for that. Blame MLB The Show. The game chose to send Bowman home, not me. So that's not my fault for the bad base running. So here's German Marquez, 2.07 ERA, 1.05 whip, as he strikes out the former Oriole, Andrelton Simmons. If you remember back in Season 2, he was on the team for a fairly short time before being traded to Minnesota back at the deadline. Top 2 of a rookie, Shane Kovaleski, leads things off down the left field line. The throw to second is in time. The left fielder guns down Kovaleski, who aggressively tries to lag out a double, and that decision backfires. 1 on, 2 out now for Max Muncy, who hits this one high. Pretty deep in the left center field. Back at the track, at the wall, it's gone. 2-run shot for Muncy, number 21 on the year for him. And it's the Baltimore Orioles who will find themselves in the scoreboard first. They take a 2-0 lead. Little Oppo-Poppo there off the bat of Muncy as we now transition into the third. Xavier Bowman leads off the inning, rips it into left for his second hit of the game. Good start today for Bowman, who's continued to be very reliable in this Orioles lineup. Hasn't necessarily lit the world on fire since his debut, but he's played good baseball. What can I say? Louis St. John, full count pick, draws a walk on the outside changeup. So now there are 2 on and 1 away. A big opportunity here for the big hitter, Nick Castellanos. And that one's going to be singled into left field. So now the bases are juiced as Bowman holds up at third. Probably would have been safe, but we'll see if that decision to hold up ends up mattering. So now that will bring up Carmen Sixto with 2 away and a huge opportunity to widen this lead, and he's going to do exactly that, ripping a single on the left. Bowman scores. St. John rounding third. The throw not in time and offline. 2-run single for Carmen Sixto. And the Baltimore Orioles will take a 4-0 lead. While they continue to hit the ball well, German Marquez is continuing to do his thing. That one into foul territory. Castellanos just sold a souvenir. We know Nick Castellanos is in his element when it is a 4-0 ball game, so that's really not a surprise to see him do. Byron Buxton strikes out. Now let's go to the 5th inning. It remains 4-0. Devin Smeltzer taken out of the game for Reed Detmers, who's been all right this season. Not great, not bad, as he faces off against Nick Castellanos with a moonshot into right center. I told you he was in his element, as it is a 4-0 ball game, now going to become 5-0. Number 37 on the year for Castellanos. And if we look at the 4 seasons in this series, I don't think anybody has individually played better offensively for this Orioles team than Nick Castellanos this year, who's been incredible. Minnesota, however, answers right back. The German native Max Kepler hits a home run into right field, his 23rd of the season. And the Twins are finally on the board. They will make it 5-1. That kills the no-hitter that Yerman Marquez had going into the 5th inning. So it's unfortunate to see that go away. He would get right back to dominance, however, striking out Josh Donaldson. Nice mullet, but not a nice swing there. Top of the 6th inning, here is Max Muncy with his 3rd base hit of the game, as that would be an infield single. What an unbelievable hustle by Muncy, the big fella. Getting into first safely, 3 for 3 today. With one away, Ivan Cortez Jr. tries to lay down the drag bunt, and that one is a beauty. Cortez safe at first, and the Orioles have a pair on with one away and a nice opportunity to widen the gap even further. Full count pitch for Bowman, grounds this one right to second, and the Twins are going to turn 2. So the Orioles waste that opportunity there, but the score does remain 5-1 as we go to the bottom of the 6th inning. Here is Byron Buxton, deflects that one off of Yerman Marquez's leg. That'll go for a single. Marquez is a little bit shaken up after that. He will choose to stay in the game, but his pitch count is starting to get a little bit higher. He isn't pitching as well as he did earlier, so I would expect the bullpen to start, doing some stuff. That one goes in the left, past the glove of Louis St. John. Buxton rounding 3rd, headed home. The throw from the cutoff man Cortez is not in time. And the Minnesota Twins will now make it 5-2. That's Andrelton Simmons, again, the former Oriole. Luis Arias now singles that one into center field. The runner will hold up at 3rd, but now Minnesota has 2 aboard. Still nobody out, might I add. This has been a disaster of an inning for Marquez, and it won't get any better. Miguel Sano rips that one over his head, single into center. So Sano will drive in a run, and it is now 5-3. At this point, the Orioles feel like they have no choice but to make a pitching change, and they will bring Amir Garrett into the game as Marquez will walk back to the dugout. Marquez pitched like himself through 4 innings, unbelievably good, but he kind of fell off quick today, not his best outing. So Garrett comes in, starts off in a big way, as he strikes out the fellow lefty Alex Kirilloff. Another lefty, Kepler up, grounds it to first. Sixto to Cortez, back to Sixto, a 3-6-3 double play. Great job by Garrett to get out of the inning. That's why the Orioles picked him up at the trade deadline, to do stuff like that. However, the 7th inning would not be as dandy of a start for Amir Garrett, as that one will go up the line for a single. I'm surprised he didn't go to second, but he didn't want to test Louis St. John's arm, which that actually was a pretty good throw, I'm not going to lie, which is rare for him. The following batter will also hit a single into right. Castellanos could have dove and tried to catch that, but there's no real point of risking that. Nonetheless, they are now 2 on, 1 away. The Orioles make another pitching change. Colin Poche, the left-hander, is in to try to get out of this one. And it looks like that's exactly what's going to happen. With 2 away, it's a grounder over to Ivan Cortez Jr., who gets the runner out at first. 2 more innings left to go as we advance to the 8th. Adley Rutschman up, who's had a pretty rough past month or so. He hasn't really been himself, but I suppose that's nice to see, hitting that one nicely into right center field. The throw to second would have been in time, but Rutschman decided to wisely go back to first, his second base hit of the game. That'll bring up Max Muncy, who is 3 for 3. Unfortunately, going to make that 3 for 4. A big swing and miss on the fastball. Reed Detmers is still in the game, by the way. Other than allowing that home run to Nick Castellanos, he's been really good. Bottom 8, a big swing and a miss for Miguel Sano. He has quite a lot of those. Big part of his game, the strikeout. And then with 2 away, Max Kepler looks foolish. Great job by Colin Poche, who pitched nearly 2 full innings for the Orioles. And Baltimore will stay up by 2 with 2 innings to go. Here is Shed Lawn up with 2 away. Flies this one into shallow center. It will be caught by the Twins. So we go to the bottom of the ninth. 2-run game. Certainly a doable deficit here for Minnesota. But facing off against one of the best closers in the American League, one of the best closers in baseball in general, that being Edwin Diaz, it is going to be a challenge for Minnesota. Diaz trying to get his 39th save of the year and his 44th opportunity. That's a good start, as it's Jake Cave who strikes out. Cave played very well in the ALCS last year, and these two teams faced off. Of course, Minnesota 1-7. And then 2 away, fly out to right, caught by Castellanos, and the Orioles will win Game 2 on the road at the Target Center. 5-3 is your final. Good win. It wasn't always pretty, but we were able to get the job done. The lineup was solid, 5 runs, 12 hits. We kind of forgot how to hit after the 5th inning, but before that, we hit it really well. Castellanos and Muncy each went deep. They both had multiple hits. Muncy drove in 2 runs along with Sixto. Marquez was not his best, but he wasn't bad, and then the bullpen did a great job of finishing it off. Devin Smelter kind of struggled, but Reed Detmer, shout out to him. He did really well. So we're going to simulate up to the Boston series now. So we're going to sim the final game against Minnesota. Hopefully we end up winning that series, and we do. 10-7. Good work from Framber Valdez, who gets the win. So I wanted to play in this first game against Boston. Again, the pitching matchup intrigued me. I wanted to take a look at Tristan McKenzie once again. And for the Red Sox, it's Chris Sale on the mound, who despite being 34 years old, doesn't really appear to lost a step up to this point in his career. No Heston Kjerstad for the Orioles. He was not in the lineup last game either. He's been dealing with some minor shoulder issues, nothing serious, but the Orioles have kept him out the past week or so just out of precaution. Let's take a look here at Chris Sale, who is one of the few things standing in the way of German Marquez's Cy Young Award. Has over a strikeout an inning, which is very Chris Sale-esque. And sure enough, he does start this game off with a strikeout, getting Shed Lawn to go down swinging. Top 2 now, Carmen Sixto trying to get the Orioles' first hit of the game. That one will barely drop fair, and it'll actually go over the fence for a ground rule double. With how Fenway is built, yes, that bloop single that should have been an out turns into a double. Doesn't look like Sixto will score, however, as Shane Kovaleski grounds out to short. Good play by Xander Bogaerts to get the out. Let's talk about Tristan McKenzie, who's been a little bit disappointing since the Orioles traded for him midseason. He hasn't been bad by any stretch. He has a very low whip, but his record isn't great. His ERA is pedestrian, I suppose. Rhys Hoskins leads off the bottom of the second, and he will get Boston's first hit of the game, also off a ground rule double, although that one was hit quite a bit farther than Carmen Sixto's. We'll see if that'll lead to a run being scored, and the answer looks like it'll be yes. Single into center field from J.D. Martinez. Rhys Hoskins will score pretty easily, and the Boston Red Sox are on the board first. They will take a 1-0 lead. Brian Reynolds is now up, grounds this one right to short. Miller to Lawn, to Sixto. It's a 6-4-3 double play. The Orioles will turn 2. Good way to end the inning there. Now top of the third, Elliot Ramos getting the start today in place of the injured Heston Kjerstad. He takes a big swing and a miss on the high fastball. 4 strikeouts for Chris Sale, who appears to have hopped into a time machine and looks like his former self. And I don't say that in a bad way as if he's regressed, because he hasn't, but he's looking like prime Chris Sale. Tristan McKenzie's also doing quite well. He struck out about it earlier, but Whit Merrifield here is going to draw a walk with 2 away, so that'll bring up Ben Gamel. He takes a big swing and a miss. We've got ourselves a pitcher's duel. Chris Sale is dealing. Tristan McKenzie is dealing. We'll see which offense can break away first. Could it be the Orioles here in the 4th? Well, I guess that's not a particularly good start. Xavier Bowman goes down looking. Strikeout number 5 for Chris Sale. Bottom 4, Xander Bogaerts hits that one down the line. Boston's 3rd hit of the game. Bogaerts holds up at first again. They don't want to test Louis St. John's arm. Not that there's much there with his arm, but hey, they don't want to test it. Single into right for the following batter. With nobody out, the Red Sox put a couple runners aboard. A huge chance for them to strike, but Alex Verdugo, the center fielder, goes down looking. Strikeout number 3 for McKenzie. And then J.D. Martinez grounds this one to first. Sixto to Miller to the pitcher, McKenzie. 3-6-1. Double play. The Orioles turn 2 more to get out of the inning, and it remains 1-0 as we hop into the 5th. Shane Kovaleski grounds it to short. Good play by Xander Bogaerts. Much of the same. It has just been a clinic from Chris Sale tonight. the Orioles still only have one hit as a team. That was that bloop double by Carmen Sixto. Another strikeout from a Boston offense. This time it's Jason Vosler, and Tristan McKenzie is looking really impressive. One of his best outings as an Oriole so far. Top 6. Hey, it's a base hit! The first since the second inning. A single into left field by Jalen Miller. And with nobody out, hey, maybe this is an opportunity to do something. Elliot Ramos hits it nicely into center, and Alex Verdugo is just too good. Can't blame Ramos fair. He really hit that ball well, but Alex Verdugo is one of the best defensive players in baseball, so that's going to happen. Xavier Bowman with 2 away. He's going to single into right field. Had Verdugo not caught that one ball, I think a run could have scored on that play, but nonetheless, 2-1, and Luis St. John will strike out. St. John with the hat trick today, 0 for 3, 3 strikeouts. LSJ has been really good in September, so I don't want to get on his case too much, but he's not been good today. Shed Lawn tries to barehand that one. He's unsuccessful. Whit Merrifield reaches first safely. They count that as a base hit. That should be an error. That was all Shed Lawn's fault. And then look at this. Shane Kovaleski overthrows Shed Lawn. There should be 2 outs right now. Lawn should have fielded the one ball cleanly, and Kovaleski, had he thrown it to first fair, that would have been an easy out. Now instead, there's nobody out, 2-1, and sure enough, Xander Bogaerts rips that one off the monster. 1 run scores, and now there are a pair of runners in scoring position. I mean, you just cannot have those mental lapses on defense like that. The Orioles will take McKenzie out of the game, but he is not to blame for what could be a disaster of an inning. Julian Starnes is in as Hoskins rips this one into right. Great catch at the warning track by Nick Castellanos, but a run does score via the sac fly, and Boston will make it 3-0 with a runner 90 feet away from home plate. That'll bring up Alex Verdugo, grounds this one to short. Jalen Miller will make the throw to first, but Bogaerts will score, and the Red Sox make it 4-0. Had Shed Lawn not barehanded that play at second, it would still be 1-0. Shout out to Julian Starnes, though, for getting out of the inning successfully as he finishes it off with a strikeout on J.D. Martinez. Top 7, Nick Castellanos goes down looking. That fastball was right down the heart of the plate. I don't know what he was looking for. 2 away now for Rutschman. Grounds this one to second. The throw will be made cleanly. 7 dominant innings for Chris Sale, and he has not shown any signs of slowing down. Bottom 7, Jason Vosler up at the plate. Big swing and a miss on the cutter. Julian Starnes stayed in the game there in the 7th inning. That decision proved to be a success. Top 8 now, Elliot Ramos hits that one into the gap for his first hit of the game. Should be his second. Ramos trying to go to second base. The throw is in time. The Orioles' gutsy base running in this episode has really cost them in both games, believe it or not. So now that'll bring us to the bottom of the 8th inning. It remains a scoreless affair, at least for Baltimore's offense, as Jordan Hicks comes in just trying to get a clean inning here. Whit Merrifield opens things up, and that one will be dropped and left by Luis St. John. Again, the defensive lapses just have to stop. And I will say LSJ has looked good defensively today. He's had a few nice throws like that one. But again, that's going to be another run that scores because of a bad defensive play. It should still be 1-0 right now. Had it not been for these blunders, the error by St. John, the overthrow by Kovaleski, the barehanded attempt and fail by Shed Lawn. I mean, you just can't have these. The Red Sox are continuing to hit the ball really well in the 8th. Bogaerts single, so now 2 on, nobody out. Even though Boston's up 5-0, they don't look like they're done. The following batter, however, grounds this one to second. Great job by Jalen Miller to flip it over to the second baseman, Lawn, who got the out at first. Awesome defensive play there by the Orioles, which we haven't really said a whole lot today. Top 9, Shed Lawn bloops this one nicely into left center, but Bogaerts catches it. Those type of balls have to drop for base hits, especially at this stage of the game. If you can't tell, by the way, Chris Sale is still in. He's trying to go for the complete game, which would be his 6th of the year, which leads the American League. Xavier Bowman does get a single into left, so maybe the Orioles aren't done. 2 away for Castellanos. That's a drive deep into center field. Verdugo watches that one go over the fence, and the Orioles have finally scored. Nick Castellanos, his 38th home run of the year. It only took Baltimore 8 2/3 innings, but they finally did it. Totally not too little too late. Ken Giles is now in. I think the idea to take Chris Sale out is probably smart. The Red Sox want to make sure they have their closer in. The Orioles have had quite a few improbable rallies so far this season, so who knows? Maybe they can come back from 5 runs, so got to get your best reliever in. Carmen Sixto keeps the game alive with a double. It's good to see the Orioles finally showing signs of life, but this could be a classic tale of too little too late unless they have a comeback like they did back in July against Toronto, where they came back down 5 all with 2 outs. There's Adley Rutschman off the wall in right center. Another run scores, and it is now 5-3. Okay, this game just got real interesting. The Orioles are actually serious about this comeback. Tying run is at the plate. It's for rookie Shane Kovaleski. The full count pitch. Checks his swing for strike 3. I don't know if they're going to say that pitch was in the zone or if he went around. I think that one was clearly a ball, so the officials are probably going to say that he went around there. So the Red Sox win at 5-3. Just not a good performance by the Orioles. I think the pitching was good. Tristan McKenzie was pretty impressive. The bullpen, I thought, did a good job. But the defense was really bad. The defense led to 4 of Boston's 5 runs to score, and the offense did not show up until late in the 9th inning. And it was good to see them pick it up late, but just not enough. Chris Sale was unbelievable in this game. He carried Boston to a win because their lineup really was not all that impressive. They did not win because of their offense. They won because of Chris Sale and boneheaded defensive plays on the other side. So we're going to send the rest of this Boston series. As our next 2 series after this are ironically against Minnesota and Boston again. Then we have Philadelphia, Oakland, and Toronto to finish off the regular season. So only 5 series to go after this one here against Boston, which we would split the final 2 games, winning game 2 8-1, losing game 3 2-1. We're still a game behind the Blue Jays. Us and Toronto really have not, broken apart from each other. So in the next episode, we're going to go up to the final series of the year, which is 3 games in Toronto to likely determine the AL East. That'll be the episode after next one. Next one, we're going to go through the 4 series before that, and then after that, the biggest regular season series of this franchise yet, most likely, which should be exciting. The end of this year is going to be really fun, so I hope you guys are excited. Make sure to hit the like button. Make sure to subscribe to the channel if you are new. Peace.